Hello from Team Yat Dragon. This is Dizi and of course Makjosi on YouTube. Today we'll be talking about the Chinese Dizi and also mainly talking about which key of the Dizi should you buy for your first Dizi. This is one of the most common questions I get from a lot of fans before, so let's answer here. The first thing is you need to think about your size with your finger. Are you a young kid or big guy? Do you have chubby fingers or you have skinny fingers? Well, with the kid style, okay, the kid with smaller fingers, you don't want to start with a huge Dizi, which is hard for the fingers to expand, right? So usually for normal adults, teenagers, if you are average size, I would say a C or D key Dizi. This is a D key Dizi. It's just good. Now for kids or younger guys with skinny fingers, you will want something skinnier and smaller in size. So right here, as you can see, you got a tinier G key Dizi right here. As you can see, it's much smaller in size. Yeah. And also, not to forget that the holes are closer together. Where compared to this one, okay, let me just try to put them together. Yeah, okay, there you go. So the G key Dizi is actually closer with the holes, so it's easier to handle. For young guys or skinny fingers, you'll want something like that. It's easier to hold, and basically, it's just easier to handle and it's lighter weight too. Don't forget that, okay? When you unplug them, they are very small. You know, basically conceal carry it without any issues. Okay? Very cool. Anyway, so we don't walk out like that, but just to show you, it can be done. Okay? Okay, so for most people, they on my channel, they like my G key the most, the bass G. It sounds the best so far. Okay, there we go. This is the G key. It's huge. It's a concert grade Dizi. It's amazingly nice sounding. Just play a few notes here. It's huge. It's not even for any person my size. Like, it's huge. But you know, it takes a lot of practice to handle, and also your thumb will feel very weird when you're trying to hold it like this. So because of the size, it's totally not easy to handle. Yeah, it sounds really amazing, but it's big. Okay, so if even you are in love with the sound of these G bass key Dizi, even a bass A Dizi sounds very, very nice, but it's just huge. Now this is a key Dizi, okay, bass A. It's still huge, and also the key, they are super far apart, as you can see. Okay, I have to put my three fingers like that, and then for this one, there's a line here that you put your forefinger on, which makes it super awkward for a normal player. So, see? Now this finger is now being used as a spacer. So yeah, as you can see, these are the main difference between the different keys. So when you're buying your first Dizi, avoid the bass key Dizi. They are not easy to play with the fingering. It's not normal. Okay, you need to get used to it in like in a month or so, just to get used to not using your forefinger or something like that. It's not normal. sounds really nice, but it's just too big, okay? So for most people, I would say a C or a D key is nice. C or D key is just the right size for most people. Also, the fingering is very evenly spaced apart, so it feels kind of like playing a recorder. It's very, very natural, and there's no weird, like, oh, space the forefinger and kind of thing. So it's the best starter note with the alto C and D, so it's very nice. So go with those if you're just starting the first deck G. If you're a kid, maybe you want to buy a tiny, like a little bit lower, like a G key or something that may fit your finger a little bit more if you have skinny hand. When I was in like high school, that kind of time, I also start with a C or D key, and it actually makes my life pretty easy. And if you play a tinier size deck G, it's harder, you know, with the fingering. Now this is the D key. No, yeah, D key. So you can see the sound is quite nice too. Well, basically the key point is don't buy a deck G because it sounds good or it sounds awesomely like wow, very tender and stuff like that. Most people are impressed by the very bass, tender sound. It's nice, but then it's not the best choice for your starter deck G. So remember, even though with a deck G like this, it can sound very nice. It can sound very good too. It just depends on how well you play the instrument. So remember, when you're buying a deck G, stick to something that your hand can handle easily and won't feel very weird when you're like moving your fingers around. Okay, so basically that's it for this video. Remember to subscribe and like. Remember to share with your friends too. Bye-bye!